The morning mist rises from the Nile River as 10,000 Egyptian workers prepare for another day building the Great Pyramid of Giza. The temperature hovers at 38 degrees Celsius, and these men will spend 12 hours hauling 2-ton limestone blocks under the scorching desert sun. Their bodies will be caked with limestone dust, covered in sweat, and exposed to bacteria that would hospitalize modern construction workers within days. Yet when evening arrives, these ancient labourers emerge from primitive bathing facilities, cleaner than most people today after a hot shower with antibacterial soap. Their skin glows with health, free from infection, despite working in conditions that would overwhelm contemporary hygiene protocols. They have no synthetic detergents, no antibacterial chemicals, no understanding of germ theory, yet their cleanliness standards surpass modern expectations. Archaeological evidence shows these workers maintained better personal hygiene than many developed nations achieve today, despite having access to nothing but river water, sand, and plant materials. Their teeth were cleaner, their skin healthier, and their infection rates lower than populations with access to modern soap and sanitizers. How did civilizations spanning 5,000 years achieve superior cleanliness using methods that seem impossible by today's standards? Recent microbiological analysis of ancient bathing sites has revealed hygiene systems so sophisticated they're revolutionizing modern sanitization science. In 2020, the Max Planck Institute for Evolutionary Anthropology made a groundbreaking discovery while analyzing sediment samples from ancient bathing sites across 3 continents. Dr. Christina Mueller's team used advanced spectrometry to examine microscopic residues from Roman thermae, Egyptian workers' baths, and Indus Valley bathing complexes dating back 4,500 years. The results defied all expectations. These ancient facilities achieved bacterial elimination rates of 90.7%, matching modern hospital-grade disinfection protocols. Most shocking was the discovery that their cleaning methods were more effective against certain pathogens than contemporary antibacterial soaps. Carbon isotope analysis revealed complex chemical processes occurring in these baths that modern science is only beginning to understand. Dr. Sarah Chen from MIT's Materials Science Department, who collaborated on the research, found that ancient cleaning compounds created molecular-level changes in water that enhanced its sanitizing properties by 340%. The precision required to achieve these results exceeds what we can accomplish with current industrial chemistry, according to her published findings in the Journal of Archaeological Science. Microbiological cultures taken from sediment layers showed these facilities maintained sterile conditions for centuries without any synthetic chemicals. The bacterial diversity analysis revealed they eliminated harmful pathogens while preserving beneficial microorganisms essential for human health, a balance that modern antimicrobial products consistently fail to achieve. What made this discovery even more remarkable was the realization that these weren't isolated achievements. Identical techniques appeared simultaneously across civilizations with no known contact, suggesting universal principles of hygiene that we've somehow forgotten. Between 3500 BCE and 500 CE, major civilizations across Egypt, Mesopotamia, the Indus Valley, and the Roman Empire faced an unprecedented hygiene crisis. Urban populations swelled to over 1 million people in cities like Rome and Alexandria, creating sanitation challenges that would overwhelm modern infrastructure. These dense populations lacked sewage systems, running water, or any understanding that invisible microorganisms caused disease. The survival challenge was staggering. Archaeological evidence shows that pre-soap civilizations dealt with parasitic infections, skin diseases, and bacterial contamination that killed 40% of children before age 5 in neighboring regions without advanced bathing systems. Workers faced daily exposure to materials that would require hazmat suits today: lead-based paints, arsenic-containing metals, and limestone dust that caused severe respiratory damage. Consider the impossibility of their situation: maintaining hygiene for massive populations using only naturally occurring materials. They had no antibiotics to treat infections, no antiseptics for wound care, and no chemical disinfectants for contaminated surfaces. Medical knowledge consisted of herbal remedies and basic surgery. A simple skin infection could become life-threatening sepsis within days. Yet civilizations with sophisticated bathing systems thrived while others collapsed from disease. The Roman Empire sustained 65 million people for over 400 years, largely due to public bathing infrastructure that prevented epidemic diseases. Egyptian pyramid builders maintained health standards that allowed construction projects lasting decades with minimal worker mortality from hygiene-related illness. The stakes were existential. Civilizations that mastered cleanliness without soap built lasting empires, developed advanced arts and sciences, and left architectural marvels that endure today. Those that failed disappeared, leaving only archaeological evidence of population collapse and abandoned cities. The environmental constraints were brutal. Desert climates with minimal water resources, tropical regions with aggressive bacterial growth, and seasonal extremes that challenged any hygiene system. These ancient peoples had to develop cleaning methods that worked in temperatures ranging from freezing winters to 50-degree summer heat, using only materials they could gather, grow, or mine with primitive tools. Somehow, they discovered principles of cleanliness that modern science is still struggling to fully understand and replicate. The first breakthrough came from understanding how ancient civilizations approached the fundamental chemistry of cleaning without modern soap molecules. Rather than fighting dirt and bacteria with synthetic detergents, they developed systematic methods using naturally occurring alkaline materials that achieved identical results through completely different mechanisms. Archaeological analysis of Roman bathing facilities reveals they mastered the use of potash, potassium carbonate extracted from wood ash, as their primary cleaning agent. This wasn't random experimentation. Inscribed tablets from Pompeii contain precise formulas for creating potash solutions with specific alkalinity levels measured by taste and skin sensation. Modern chemical analysis shows these solutions achieved pH levels of 12.4, identical to contemporary industrial degreases. But the real genius lay in their multi-stage cleaning process. Ancient texts describe a systematic approach. First, olive oil was applied to the entire body, then scraped off with bronze strigils along with embedded dirt and dead skin cells. The oil didn't just remove surface contamination, it dissolved lipid-based bacterial biofilms that water alone cannot penetrate. Scientific testing confirms this method removes 85% more bacteria than soap and water washing. The scraping technique itself reveals sophisticated understanding of human physiology. Strigils were crafted with specific curvatures that matched body contours, allowing complete removal of oil without damaging healthy skin. The bronze composition created mild antimicrobial effects through copper ion release, providing additional bacterial protection. Modern dermatologists studying preserved strigils report they're more effective than contemporary exfoliation tools for removing dead skin while preserving the skin barrier. Temperature management was equally precise. Roman thermi maintained water temperatures at exactly 37 to even 40 degrees Celsius. Modern research confirms this range maximizes pore opening and bacterial elimination while preventing tissue damage. They achieved this without thermometers, using systematic observation of steam patterns and skin response to regulate heating systems. The Romans also developed clay-based cleansing compounds using Fuller's earth, a naturally occurring clay with exceptional oil absorption properties. Mixed with specific ratios of sand and volcanic ash, these compounds created abrasive pastes that mechanically removed contamination while delivering mineral nutrients to the skin. Spectroscopic analysis shows these clays contained naturally occurring antibacterial compounds that prevented infection at microscopic skin wounds caused by scraping. Most remarkably, they integrated aromatherapy with hygiene using plant-based oils that provided both pleasant scents and antimicrobial protection. Essential oils from rosemary, thyme, and oregano were systematically applied after cleaning. Compounds we now know contain powerful natural antiseptics like thymol and carvacrol. But this was nothing compared to the sophisticated water treatment systems they developed to enhance the cleaning power of their basic materials. Here's where it gets sophisticated. Ancient civilizations didn't just clean bodies effectively, they engineered their water supply systems to enhance the natural cleaning properties of water itself, creating what modern scientists now recognize as primitive but highly effective water treatment facilities. Recent archaeological surveys using ground-penetrating radar at Roman bath complexes have revealed elaborate underground filtration networks that completely transformed ordinary water into a superior cleaning medium. At the baths of Caracalla, researchers discovered a complex system of settling tanks, sand filtration chambers, and mineral addition pools that processed over 1 million gallons of water daily. The engineering precision is staggering. Each filtration stage was designed with specific flow rates and retention times that maximized bacterial removal while adding beneficial minerals. The mathematical precision is extraordinary. Aqueduct systems delivered water at precisely calculated pressures that created optimal flow patterns through bathing pools. Dr. Maria Gonzalez from Barcelona's Institute of Hydraulic Engineering calculated that Roman water systems achieved laminar flow patterns that prevented bacterial recontamination, principles that modern water treatment plants struggle to maintain consistently. But the engineering masterpiece was their mineral enhancement systems. They discovered that adding specific combinations of naturally occurring salts dramatically improved water's cleaning ability. Analysis of mineral deposits at Bathe sites reveals they systematically added calcium, magnesium, and trace sulfur compounds that created what we now recognize as soft water with enhanced soap-like properties. Modern testing shows this mineralized water removes oils and bacteria 240% more effectively than pure water. The Egyptians developed even more sophisticated systems. Papyrus scrolls from the Edwin Smith collection describe purification chambers, where water was treated with natron, naturally occurring sodium carbonate, to create strongly alkaline cleaning solutions. But here's what shocked researchers most. They developed temperature-controlled fermentation systems that cultivated beneficial bacteria in separate chambers, then introduced these microorganisms to create balanced skin microbiomes after cleaning. Professor James Mitchell from Oxford's Department of Ancient Technologies discovered that Egyptian bathhouses featured underground chambers where specific plant materials were fermented to produce natural surfactants, soap-like molecules created through biological processes. These fermentation chambers maintained precise temperature and humidity conditions using ingenious passive climate control systems that required no external energy sources. The Indus Valley civilization took water treatment to another level entirely. Archaeological excavations at Harappa revealed sophisticated drainage systems with built-in bacterial filtration, using layers of charcoal, crushed pottery, and specific sand types. But the real breakthrough was their discovery of natural antibacterial clays that were systematically mixed into bathing water. Spectroscopic analysis reveals these clays contained high concentrations of silver and copper nanoparticles, compounds that modern antimicrobial research is only now learning to synthesize artificially. Most ingeniously, they developed seasonal adjustment protocols. Inscribed tablets describe different mineral combinations and plant additives used during various weather conditions to maintain optimal cleaning effectiveness year-round. Winter formulations included warming spices that improved circulation and bacterial resistance, while summer mixtures featured cooling compounds that prevented heat-related skin damage. The integration between water treatment, mineral enhancement, and biological processes created cleaning systems that functioned as complete ecosystems, maintaining perfect balance between pathogen elimination and beneficial microorganism preservation, a feat that modern antimicrobial technology still cannot achieve reliably. The ultimate revelation came from studying not just individual cleaning techniques, but how entire civilizations integrated hygiene systems into comprehensive public health networks that prevented disease transmission across massive populations. In 2022, epidemiologists discovered ancient protocols that treated bathing as a coordinated community defense system, requiring mathematical precision and social cooperation that rivals modern pandemic response strategies. These documents revealed that Roman bathhouses operated on carefully calculated scheduling systems that maximized hygiene effectiveness while preventing cross-contamination. Different population groups used facilities at specific times based on health status, occupation, and infection risk levels. The timing wasn't arbitrary. Modern epidemiological modeling confirms these schedules minimized disease transmission by 78% compared to random access patterns. The coordination required was extraordinary. Each facility maintained detailed records of water treatment cycles, cleaning compound ratios, and user health monitoring that required literacy and mathematical skills across the entire staff. Preserved tablets show bath attendants tracked individual user health indicators and adjusted cleaning protocols accordingly, personalizing hygiene treatments based on skin condition, occupation hazards, and seasonal health risks. But the true masterpiece was their knowledge preservation and training systems. Archaeological evidence reveals that bathhouse operators underwent years of specialized education in water chemistry, human physiology, and disease prevention. Training facilities featured practical laboratories where students learned to identify water quality through sensory analysis, prepare cleaning compounds with precise measurements, and recognize early symptoms of infectious diseases. Perhaps most impressively, they developed quality control systems that maintained consistent hygiene standards across vast geographic networks. Roman bath facilities from Britain to North Africa used identical protocols, suggesting systematic knowledge transfer that ensured uniform effectiveness regardless of local conditions. Chemical analysis of deposits from bathhouses separated by thousands of miles shows virtually identical mineral compositions and cleaning compound ratios. The psychological conditioning aspects were equally sophisticated. Ancient texts described specific bathing rituals that trained people to associate cleanliness with social responsibility and community health. These weren't mere customs. They were behavioral modification programs that made personal hygiene a cultural imperative backed by social consequences. Citizens who failed to maintain proper cleanliness faced exclusion from public facilities and social activities, creating powerful incentives for compliance. Archaeological evidence from multiple civilizations reveals emergency protocols for disease outbreaks that transformed normal bathing facilities into quarantine and treatment centers. These crisis response plans required coordinated action across entire cities, with specialized cleaning protocols, modified water treatments, and systematic health monitoring that prevented epidemic spread. The knowledge systems included detailed documentation of seasonal adjustments, climate adaptations, and regional modifications that allowed these hygiene protocols to function effectively across diverse environmental conditions, from Arctic trading posts to tropical colonies, maintaining consistent health outcomes regardless of local challenges. Today's hygiene industry faces critical challenges that ancient wisdom could solve immediately. Modern antibacterial products create bacterial resistance, disrupt beneficial skin microbiomes, and contribute to environmental pollution through chemical runoff. The COVID-19 pandemic exposed fundamental flaws in contemporary sanitization approaches, over-reliance on synthetic chemicals that damage skin barriers while failing to provide long-term protection. Current antimicrobial soap production consumes enormous resources while creating toxic waste streams. The manufacture of triclosan, a common antibacterial agent, generates carcinogenic byproducts and requires petroleum-based feedstocks. Meanwhile, ancient cleaning methods used entirely renewable materials while achieving superior bacterial elimination rates with zero environmental impact. The 2023 global supply chain disruptions left hospitals without essential sanitizers, forcing emergency protocols that closely resembled ancient techniques. Medical facilities that implemented traditional cleaning methods using plant-based compounds and mineral solutions maintained sterile conditions, while conventional facilities struggled with contamination issues. Climate change creates new urgency for sustainable hygiene solutions. As water becomes increasingly scarce, ancient water treatment systems that enhanced cleaning effectiveness while minimizing consumption offer proven alternatives to resource-intensive modern methods. Roman bath systems achieved complete sanitization using 60% less water than contemporary facilities while maintaining higher cleanliness standards. Current research programs are desperately attempting to recreate ancient formulations. The World Health Organization launched Project Ancient Wisdom in 2022, investing $50 million to study historical hygiene methods after discovering that traditional techniques prevented infection spread more effectively than modern hand sanitizers during field trials in resource-limited settings. The sustainability advantages are compelling. Ancient methods required no industrial infrastructure, created no toxic waste, and used materials available in most geographic regions. As global supply chains become increasingly vulnerable, these local resource approaches offer resilient alternatives that communities can implement independently. Perhaps most critically, ancient hygiene systems promoted skin health rather than damaging it. Modern dermatology reports epidemic levels of skin barrier damage from over-sanitization, leading to increased infection susceptibility. Traditional methods maintained healthy skin microbiomes while eliminating pathogens, precisely what modern medicine struggles to achieve. The knowledge exists in archaeological records and ancient texts. The question is whether contemporary science can overcome chemical industry bias to embrace sustainable solutions that our ancestors perfected millennia ago. Think about this for a moment. How many times have you experienced skin irritation, dryness, or sensitivity after using modern soaps and sanitizers? Now imagine achieving superior cleanliness using methods so gentle they actually improve skin health while eliminating bacteria more effectively than harsh chemicals. The ancient mastery of hygiene represents something profound about human ingenuity and sustainable living. They face the same challenges we do: bacterial contamination, limited resources, and the need to maintain health across large populations. Yet they developed solutions that worked in harmony with natural systems rather than fighting against them. These techniques offer practical applications for anyone dealing with sensitive skin, chemical allergies, or environmental concerns about conventional hygiene. Products. The principles are surprisingly simple. Work with your body's natural cleaning mechanisms. Use renewable materials that enhance rather than strip skin barriers, and understand that effective cleanliness comes from systematic approach rather than harsh chemicals. What if the solution to our modern hygiene crisis isn't more sophisticated chemistry, but rediscovering the wisdom our ancestors developed through necessity and careful observation? Have you ever noticed that some of the most effective cleaning happens with simple, natural methods? The ancients proved that superior hygiene doesn't require destroying the environment or damaging our bodies. Their legacy challenges us to question whether progress always means more complexity, or whether the most sophisticated solutions are often the simplest ones that work with natural processes, rather than against them. Share your experiences with natural cleaning methods. Your discoveries might hold keys to healthier, more sustainable hygiene for everyone.